Good morning, teachers. So here is our letter review for September 2023. And in this presentation, alamin natin some of the most notable happenings in the world history and geography. So alam naman natin that the coverage of the LET examination is broad enough. So we shall be prepared then. Okay? Kailangan equip din tayo with those information para papasa sa examination. All right, so let's start. Question number one. Who became the first Holy Roman Emperor? A. Charlemagne. B. Lois the Pious. C. Lothar the First. And D. Charles the Bald. The answer is letter A. It's Charlemagne. Okay, so I have included in here the pictures kasi mas madaling maalala, no? Mas maganda yung retention pag may pictures along with the words, the names rather, okay? Lalo na that we are talking about foreign terms, mga unique na mga names na hindi pa natin nadinig ever, okay? So, I have incorporated in here the pictures of those people, no? Notable persons in the world history. Okay? So, let us know bakit naging first Holy Roman Emperor si Charlemagne. Okay? So, prior to him is Pope Leo rather. Prior to Charlemagne was Pope Leo the Third. Okay? And kasi he was Pope Leo the Third was accused of adultery and perjury. When we say perjury, that is the crime of telling lies in court. So he was then sent to monastery, but escaped and made his way to Charlemagne, who escorted him back to Rome under royal protection. And on Christmas Day, Leo placed the imperial crown. This one, the imperial crown on Charlemagne's head, okay, resurrecting the emperor of Roman Empire, which became known as the Holy Roman Empire. Okay, so the best known and the most influential figures of the early Middle Ages for his military successes, which united most of the Western Europe, his educational and his ecclesiastical reforms. So this one is Charlemagne, the first Holy Roman Emperor. Okay? Tandaan nyo yan. Baka lalabas sa exam. Okay, so question number 2 tayo with Roman triumvirates in mind. Who does not belong to the group? Okay, so let us know this word triumvirates. That is a triarchy. It is a political institution that is dominated by three individuals. Okay, so among these choices, isa dito ang hindi kasali sa grupo. Okay? The question kasi is, who does not belong to the group? Okay, let us know. The answer is letter D. Augustus Caesar. Okay, so the first triumvirate, a secret political alliance between three politicians during the late Roman Republic. It was created in 60 BC by Gaius Julius Caesar, Pompeius Magnus, known as Pompey the Great, and Marcus Licinius Crassus. Okay, this one, A, B, C. They are the members of the triumvirates, excluding yes, Augustus Caesar. So Augustus Caesar is our answer. Okay? Number 3, under his tutelage, Alexander the Great learned about much about Greek literature and philosophy. Okay? So is it A, Plato, B, Aristotle, C, Socrates, and D, Pythagoras? The answer is Aristotle. It's letter B. Okay. So Aristotle, this one, okay. Aristotle taught Alexander and his friends about medicine, philosophy, morals, religion, logic, and art. And under Aristotle's tutelage, Alexander developed a passion for the works of Homer. Okay, Aristotle gave him an annotated copy, which Alexander later carried on. Okay, so this is Alexander the Great, and he was under the tutelage of Aristotle. Okay, under the guardianship, or are under the protection. Okay, that is tutelage. Parang naging student, no? Si Alexander the Great ni Aristotle, because he learned a lot from him. Okay, so moving forward, number 4, the Greek playwright who wrote the tragedy Oedipus Rex. Is it A, Socrates, B, Aeschylus, and C, Sophocles, and D, Euripides? Okay, the answer is letter C, Sophocles. Okay, ang hirap ibasa yung mga names nila. Okay, so this is Sophocles. Okay, so he was a playwright. Okay, let us know what is playwright. He was the scriptwriter, okay, or the dramatist who wrote the tragedy Oedipus Rex. Okay, so of his 8 plays, 7 full, 1 fragmented, that remain until today. So his most famous is Oedipus the King, the Oedipus Rex, which is known for its impressive construction and the use of dramatic devices. Sophocles also is renowned for his use of tragic irony and extended metaphor. Okay, so that is Sophocles. He was the one who wrote the Oedipus Rex. Okay? Number 5, in Greek mythology, he is known God for God of fire, smiths, craftsmen, metalworking, stone masonry, and sculpture. Is it A, Hephaestus, B, Dionysos, C, Ares, and D, Apollo? The answer is letter A, Hephaestus. Okay, so he was a god of fire. Hephaestus became the divine smith and patron of craftsmen, the natural volcanic of gaseous fires already connected with him. Okay, so this is Hephaestus, the god of fire. Okay, so let us go to number 6. Ancient Greek city states are also called as A, Agora, B, Polis, C, Crete, and D, Phalanx. Phalanx. Okay, the answer is letter B, Polis. Okay, a city-state or polis was the community structure of ancient Greece. Each city-state was organized with an urban center and the surrounding countryside. Okay, so city-states were also known as polis. Okay, number 7. A philosophy and or religion developed in the ancient China with teachings based on the writings of philosopher Lao Tzu. Is it A, Confucianism, B, Hinduism, letter C, Taoism, and letter D, Buddhism? Okay, ano yung sagot? It's letter A. Letter C, rather. It's letter C, Taoism. Okay. So, this is Lao Tzu. This picture is Lao Tzu. Okay? So, philosopher Lao Tzu, who around 500 BCE, ano ba itong BCE? That is before Common Era. Okay? He wrote the main book of Taoism, the Tao Te Ching. Okay? So, Taoism holds that humans and animals should live in balance with the Tao or the universe. All right. So the Taoists believe in spiritual immortality, where the spirit of the body joins the universe after. Okay. So that is Taoism. It is based on the writings of philosopher Lao Tzu. Okay. Number 8. Who is known in history as the first Chinese emperor? A, Li Shimin, B, Liu Bang, C, Qin Shi Huang, and D. Kublai Khan? The answer is Qin Shi Huang. This one. Okay, so Qin Shi Huang was the first emperor of China, and under his leadership, he reunified China by conquering the other warring states and then establishing the Qin dynasty that rules China from 221 until 206 BC. And he was known as tyrannical ruler and strict legalist. Okay, so his very achievement no was reunification of China because he was a tyrannical ruler. When we say tyrannical ruler, he was very controlling and strict. Okay, number 9. Who established the Mauryan Empire in ancient India? A. Brihadratha, B. Bindusara, C. Ashoka, and D. Chandragupta. Okay, so the answer is letter D. It's Chandragupta. Okay, I included here his image. Okay, so the Mauryan Empire's first leader, Chandragupta Maurya, state started consolidating land as Alexander the Great's power began to wane. Okay, so an article na nabasa ko no from the Indian press, I've read there that the Chandragupta Maurya, the founder of Mauryan Empire, had defeated, okay, natalo niya si Alexander of Macedon in the battle. And then it is Alexander whom historians have chosen to call great. But then during the war, it was Chandragupta who won the battle. Okay? So, number 10, what is the greatest and lasting contribution of the Israelites to the world? Is it A, monotheism, B, architecture, C, military, and D, reincarnation? Okay, the answer here is letter A. It's monotheism. All right, so the Israelites left an extraordinary religious and ethical legacy. They were some of the first monotheists, worshipping a single God whom they referred to as Yahweh. Okay? And according to the Bible, the Israelites are the descendants of Jacob, who was later renamed Israel. Okay? And Israelites were later led out of slavery to Egypt and was brought to the land of promise by led by Moses. Okay, so when we say monotheism, ibig sabihin, they believe in the existence of one God, and they refer to as Yahweh. Okay, that is their greatest contribution and lasting contribution to the world. Okay, 11. Which of the following is not among the great contribution of the Egyptians? A. Papyrus, B. Hieroglyphics, C. Mummification, and D. Potter's wheel. Okay, the answer is it's D. Potter's wheel. Okay, so the Potter's wheel is an example of an early mechanical invention. Okay? And it can be traced back to the ancient Sumerians, not Egyptians. Take note yung tanong, which of the following is not among the contribution of Egyptian? It's potter's wheel. Bakit? Sino ba ang gumawa nito? It's the ancient Sumerians. As early as 3250 BCE or before Common Era. So early wheels were probably slow wheels. And then later, fast wheels allowed potters to work. Um, yes, it allowed potters to work more quickly and to create more uniform vessels. Take note that this is not one of the contribution of Egyptians because it is from Sumerians. Okay, number 12. A property or fee granted to a vassal by lord in return for service in the European feudal system? A. Manor, B. Guild, C. Fief, and D. Charter. The answer is C. Okay, fief. All right, fief was a source of income granted to a person called vassal by his lord in exchange for his service. Okay? So, parang yung lord na ginagamit dito is parang si vassal, okay, was the tenant and the lord was the owner. Okay? So, the lord will pay the vassal, no, the fifth, no, in return for the service rendered. Okay? 13, he was famous for changing the traditional religion of Egypt from the worship of many gods to the worship of a single god. Okay. The answer is letter D, Akhenaten. Okay? So, yes, Amenhotep, no? So the story let us know that some short background, no, of Akhenaten. Akhenaten was an ancient pharaoh, okay, or pharaoh. Before he was known as Amenhotep the fourth, okay, then noted for abandoning Egypt's traditional polytheism and introduced the Atenism, okay, that is the worship centered around Aten. Okay, so that is Akhenaten. He was famous, no, in changing the traditional religion to a polytheism to worshiping Aten. Okay, number 14, Egyptian pharaoh who became famous for the discovery of his tomb in 1922, which was one of the great archaeological findings of the 20th century. A. Thutmose III, B. Hatshepsut, and D. Tutankhamun, and D. Cleopatra the seventh. The answer is letter C, Tutankhamun. Okay, so when archaeologist Howard Carter held up a candle to peer inside on November 26, 1922, here in our question, the light glinted on golden objects, and this tomb belonging to the pharaoh Tutankhamun would soon become the most famous ancient Egyptian discovery. Okay? 15, who was the ruling pharaoh when the first pyramid of Egypt was built in Saqqara around 22630 BC? Okay, is it A. Ramses II, B. Dusur, and C. Amenhotep the first, and D. Khufu? Okay, it is letter B, Dusur. Okay, so the oldest known pyramid in Egypt was built around 2630 BC at Saqqara for the third dynasty's king, Djusur. Okay, number 16. Why is Egypt called the gift of Nile? A. Nile is the longest river in the world with a length of 6,650 Letter B. People of Egypt came from the Nile River according to myth. See, the Nile's annual flooding deposited rich, dark soil in the river banks of Egypt that were perfect for farming. And the River Nile derived its name from Egyptian god that created Egypt. Okay, the answer is letter C. The Nile's annual flooding deposited rich, dark soil on the riverbanks of Egypt that were perfect for farming. Okay, So the country Egypt is called the gift of the Nile, as it is Egypt's lifeline. So without the Nile River, Egypt would have been a desert. Okay, so historically, the Nile has provided water for the cultivation of crops in Egypt that led to the burgeoning of the main civilization along the river valley. Okay, so the fast and rapidly growing civilization of Egypt, it is all because of the Nile River. Okay, number 17, Mesopotamian civilization famous for its 282 laws based on the idea of an eye for an eye. A. Acadia. B. Chaldea. C. Assyria, and D. Babylonia. The answer here is letter D. Babylonia. That is the Code of Hammurabi. 282 laws. So Hammurabi Code of Laws, a collection of 282 rules, establish standards for commercial interactions and set fines and punishment to meet the requirement of justice. Okay, so the code was carved on a massive finger-shaped black stone. Okay, it is also one of the earliest and complete written legal codes and was proclaimed by the Babylonian king Hammurabi, who reigned from 1792 to 1750 BC. Okay. Number 18. Yes, Sumeria was the first civilization in Mesopotamia, which is not true about this ancient civilization. Okay, ingat tayo sa mga phrases, no, sa mga questions. The question is, which is not true? Okay. A. Sumerians were monotheistic. B. They built ziggurats and dedicated them to their gods. C. Sumerians invented the earliest writing system in the world. And D. The sexagesimal system originated from them. Okay, so which is not true? It is letter A. Hindi daw totoo na Sumerians were monotheistic. Okay, let us know why. Okay, here is our explanation. Sumerians were not monotheistic because they are polytheist. Okay, so Mesopotamian religion was polytheistic, with the followers worshipping several main gods and thousands of minor gods. Ang dami nilang pinaniniwalaan. Okay, so we have here Enlil, the god of air, the lord of the gods of land. Okay, meron pa silang Enki, the god of waters. And then Sin, the moon god. And the Otu, the sun god. Okay? So the statement letter A is not true because Sumerians were not monotheistic. They are polytheistic. Polytheistic rather. Okay? Let's move. 19. Mesopotamia is claimed to be the place where earliest civilizations has developed. So majority of the land area occupied by this civilization belongs to which present-day country? A. Kuwait, B. Iraq, C. Turkey, D. Syria. It is letter B. Iraq. That is the answer. So, Mesopotamia, a region in southwestern Asia where the world's earliest civilization developed. The name comes from the Greek word meaning between rivers. Mesopotamia, okay? So it is referring to Tigris and Euphrates rivers. So, but the region can be broadly defined to include the area that is now eastern Syria, southeastern Turkey, and most of Iraq. Okay? 20. Geographical theme that provides a reference to describe where a particular place is on Earth. A. Region. B. Movement. C. Location. D. Human environment interaction. Okay, so the answer is letter C. Okay? It's letter C. Location. So there is the absolute and the relative location. So the absolute location describes location of a place on a fixed, okay? When we say absolute, that is fixed point on Earth. And the relative location refers to the position of or a place or entity based on its location with respect to other locations. Okay? So that is our answer. A geographical theme that provides a reference to describe where a particular place is on the earth. It is location. 21. Which of the following does not speak of absolute location? Okay, so by just reading the option, it is very obvious, no, that the answer is letter B talaga. Okay, it is the question kasi is which of the following does not speak absolute? Okay? So sa prior question kanina, when we say absolute, that is a fixed location. Okay, so the answer here is letter B. Okay, so the absolute tells us the precise or the fixed point on Earth. And then the relative location siya because you describe the place using another reference point. Okay, so as you notice here, the choices A, C, and D are fixed or absolute location. Okay, so yung ang sagot natin is letter B. Okay? Tennis is west of North Carolina. Okay, so let's go to question 22. According to historians, who are the first people who have used fire? Okay, is it Paleolithic people? B. Neolithic age communities. C. Peoples of Sumerian civilization. And D. Humans in the Bronze Age. It is letter A. Paleolithic. This one. Paleolithic people was the first to use fire. Okay, so the controlled use of fire was an invention during the early Stone Age or lower Paleolithic. So the earliest evidence of fire associated with humans come from Old One hominid sites in the Lake Turkana region of Kenya. Okay, so please remember that the first people to use fire is the Paleolithic people. 23. Which among these sources of history can give us a more comprehensive information about Roman Empire? A. Biography of Marcus Tullius Cicero. B. Dator in the Colosseum of Rome. C. Actual bronze tablets of the 12 tables. And D. Engineering and Empire Rome documentary and history channel. Okay? So the answer is yes, it's letter D. Engineering and Empire Rome documentary on history channel. Okay? Ang question, which among the sources of history can give us more comprehensive information about the Roman Empire? 24. Which of these materials is the most authentic source of information about the life of early humans? Is it A. Documentaries, B. Artifacts from archaeological sites, C. Books from notable historians, and D. Scholarly articles on the internet? Okay, so by just looking at the choices, it is no very um obvious that the answer is the artifacts. It's letter B, artifacts from archaeological sites. This is the most authentic source of information of the early humans. Okay? So these are the evidence, no? The artifacts from the archaeological sites. The last number, 25. A social science discipline that studies both the physical properties of our planet and the relationship between people and their environment. Is it A, geography, B, sociology, C, economics, and D, archaeology? It is letter A, geography. So geography, that is the study of Earth's physical surface and cultural environments, which include the cultural geography and physical geography. It's the relationship between people and their environment. Okay? So, all right, so that ends our presentation. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. And I hope that you learn many things from here, no? So I hope that you will remember this during the exam. So I hope that the inclusion, no, of the pictures, the images here will help you remember, no, the names of these notable people. All right, so thank you so much for listening, future teachers, and once again, have a great day ahead. Thank you.